75% of the food in American grocery stores is making you fat, tired, and weak, and you might be eating it every single day without knowing it. And I'm not really talking about the obvious things like McDonald's and fast food. I'm talking about the things that are sitting in your fridge right now that are quietly destroying your skin, your energy levels, your hormones, your ability to build muscle. And you may have been told to eat less and move more. That's what everybody says. But nobody's actually talking about the quality of the food that is in your house right now, that is being created by scientists to keep you addicted, craving more, inflamed, and a returning customer. So by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what this ultra processed food is doing to your body, how the system is set up, and how you can escape this trap so you can unlock your health and you can be high energy, you can have attractive skin, you can lose your fat, you can build muscle, and you can feel amazing every single day. So starting off, 75% of the American food supply is ultra processed, as you can see from this Google search right here. Now, you might not know what that means, and you might be thinking ultra processed, that's probably like chips, candy bars, but it is actually so much more. So let me explain. Ultra processed food is essentially anything that comes from a factory, anything that comes in a package, and anything with pretty much over 5 ingredients. So this is essentially like cereals, frozen meals, granola bars, yes, protein bars, chips, ice creams, basically anything that came from a factory, like I said. And even if you might think it's healthy, like for example, protein bars. A lot of people think protein bars is healthy just because it has protein, but it is actually an ultra processed food. You may as well have a Snickers. So anything that comes from a factory, there's basically 2 different categories of food at this point. There's things that grow naturally, that come from the earth, Mother Nature, and there's things that have been created, came from a factory, and is ultra processed. Now this will destroy your health, and the natural thing won't. Ultra processed food has a ton of additives. If you look at the ingredient list on basically anything packaged these days, there will be ingredient list a mile long. You'll expect to find things like seed oils, additives, preservatives, food dyes, emulsifiers, natural flavors. All the things I just listed will absolutely wreck you. And I remember when I was eating these things back in the day, I was dirty bulking. I fell for the lie of dirty bulking, and I was eating everything in sight. And during this time, I actually got quite fat. I got acne, my skin was weird, and I wasn't making any progress in the gym. My sleep sucked. What else? I just looked very bad. I looked like a child, even though I was like 16, 17 at the time. But yeah, so if you're eating anything in a wrapper, in a box with more than 5 ingredients, then there is a very good chance it is in this category of ultra processed food. I mean, if we look at the statistics here, there's a 3 in 4 chance that the food in your house or the food in the grocery store, whatever it may be, is ultra processed, just based off of probabilities, because 25% of the food is not, you know what I mean? Point number 2, you are eating science experiments right now. You are eating science experiments. What do I mean by this? All of the ultra processed food is engineered, like I said earlier, to make you crave more and make you come back. Right now, there are food companies sending millions and millions of dollars to scientists and telling them to make this as addictive as possible. They are trying to find the perfect combination of salt, flavor, sugar, the right texture to make it give you as much dopamine as possible, to make it as addictive as possible, so you keep coming back. They actually call this the bliss point. It is the point in which your discipline cannot override how enjoyable it is for you to eat. So because of this, you will eat the whole thing and you will come back for more tomorrow. So your willpower is really not broken. You're just up against a billion-dollar company that is trying to make these things as addictive as possible. So that thing that you're addicted to right now, that ultra processed food, whether it's chips or a candy bar, just know that that thing was engineered in a lab. It was created in a lab to make you come back and buy more. So if you are struggling with your being addicted to these foods, like, I don't blame you. That's literally the point of the food, is to make the company money. And and to make you keep coming back and buying more. But you really do not have a choice here. You must stop eating these foods because these foods are destroying your health. They are taking years off of your life. They could give you a disease in the future. As we can see right now, it's like 60 to 75% of Americans right now have some kind of chronic disease. And along with that, 75% of Americans are overweight or obese. That is 3 in 4 people. That might be you, it might not be you, but just know that along with other things, a very big contributor to those numbers is the food supply. So you must know this, and you have to stop eating it because you will get negative health effects in the future. And if you want the full blueprint on the mindset you need and how to quit these foods, the link is in the description. Point 3, here's what this is actually doing to your body right now. And to give you an analogy, it's kind of like fighting an uphill battle against yourself. If you are consistently eating ultra processed food, you can expect low grade stress and inflammation on the body constantly. There are so many ingredients in the modern food supply, and each one does its own negative thing, but you can expect to find things like brain fog, acne, skin redness, inflammation and bloating, low energy, low testosterone. Your gut lining will be damaged, which means you'll be sick more often because most of the immune system actually lies within the gut. And on top of that, you could get leaky gut. Your body will start to store more fat instead of building more muscle. I especially saw this when I was consuming a lot of ultra processed food back when I was dirty bulking. I did gain weight, of course, and it was essentially all fat and no muscle, despite being consistent in the gym, going nearly every single day and weightlifting. All I gained was fat. And so many people fall for this in the gym space of dirty bulking. And dirty bulking is such a scam. You will make way more progress on a natural, clean diet. And if you want to know the perfect diet for young men just like us, go watch this video or go watch this video. I explain this in depth. So yes, there are so many negative health effects that come alongside eating ultra processed food. Now, I listed some of like the short-term ones, but there's also the long-term ones. As we can see from the statistics I mentioned earlier, like overweight, obesity, maybe you get some kind of chronic disease in the future, which is very scary, or maybe even cancer. And we really, really, really don't want cancer, right? We don't want a disease. We don't want to be overweight. And it is so, the way to stop that is just so simple. You just cut out the ultra processed food and you do a little bit more exercise and movement, lower the calories. Of course, it gets more complex than that, but that's like the absolute basics, you know? And another thing too is that a lot of people think that they're eating healthy things, but they're really not. They're getting a ton of seed oils. You've probably heard that seed oils are fine. That's a fucking lie. Do not listen to that. If you actually knew how seed oils were made, then you would never eat it again. It is the worst thing you can put in your body, aside from alcohol and smoking, of course. But seed oils are fucking poison. And literally every single food these days has seed oils in it. It's insane. Point number 4, it's not just about the negative health effects of the ultra processed food. It's about what it keeps you from eating. So ultra processed food is very low nutrient and it is very high calorie. So we can take a piece of bread, for example. Here's all the ingredients in bread. It should just be flour, water, yeast, salt. 4 ingredients, but no, it has 30. Let's take that for example. Now this is going to be very high calorie, depending on what bread, etc. But so it's going to be, or we can even take another ultra processed food, for example. It doesn't matter. Ultra processed foods are quite high calorie, and on top of that, they are also very low nutrient. So what does this mean? We are overeating calories and under eating nutrients. Now that is a nightmare. So on the contrary, when we are eating high quality foods, let's take for example a steak. So when we eat a steak, we are getting a lot of nutrients with the calories that we are consuming. It is even. It doesn't look like this, where we are getting a ton of calories and no nutrients. We are getting the calories with the steak, and we are getting a ton of nutrients. Like, look at all the nutrients in steak. Look at all the nutrients in eggs. And those are just to name a few. So that is another problem with ultra processed food, is what it is leaving out. Because when you eat a ton of ultra processed food, it fills you up. It fills up your calories. Boom, that means weight gain. And on top of that, it is very low nutrient. You're not getting the nutrients that your body needs. Your body needs nutrients to function properly. It is insane to me how people do not understand this. And another thing too is that ultra processed food is very low protein. Now, there's a word for being chronically low protein, having a chronically low protein diet. I'll pop it up on screen. I don't know what the word is, but that's what it is. You can see. And you are chronically low protein when you are eating ultra processed food, which means you're not going to have as much muscle mass, you're not going to be strong, and it's going to be very, very hard for you to build muscle or just even recover from exercise. Point number 5, the food environment is designed to trap you. So essentially, if you are not cooking your own food, if you are not eating what your parents make, if you live with your parents, the default is eating slop. So if you're not cooking food, then you're automatically eating ultra processed food, whether it's going through the drive-through, whether it's buying already packaged made meals, whether that's going out to eat, whether it's buying a granola bar as a snack. And yes, so if you are not cooking, you are automatically eating garbage food. That's just how it is. That's the rule. We have to be cooking it in the United States. It is basically a non-negotiable. If you want to be healthy, you have to be cooking. That's just the rule. I don't make the rules. That's just how it is. You probably can find, but I have never found a healthy restaurant or a healthy fast food place that does not cook in seed oils and put poison in their food. So we basically have to cook. Now, if you want to know how to cook as fast as possible, link is in the description, or you can watch this video. Okay, so let's dive deeper into how the food environment is engineered to trap you. Well, number one, we can take a look at this picture right here. As you can see, like a dozen or so companies own majority of the food supply, which means these companies have a monopoly over the entire food supply. They control it. They're making the profit. They are incentivized to make the food as addictive as possible. And on top of that, like I said earlier, it will trap you in the sense that it is engineered to be as addictive as possible and to taste amazing. Another thing too is that it is made to dominate a busy environment. So if you are busy, it is convenient. Just go through the drive-thru. Just buy this pre-made meal. Buy this granola bar. It is very convenient because you don't have to cook. So these food companies know that if they can hook you onto their food, they will have a customer for life. And that's not a conspiracy theory. That is just their business model. Point number 6, how to escape this and become healthy. Basically, it's very simple. If the food existed 100 years ago, if it came from the earth, if it grew and it wasn't created, then it is good. For example, a food that existed 100 years ago and is healthy is basically all of these protein sources like beef, eggs, chicken, fish, rice, fruit, honey, potatoes, raw milk, dark chocolate, all of the healthy oils, olive oil, coconut oil. You get the idea here. If it existed 100 years ago, then it is good. If it has less than, we can say 3 or 4 ingredients, then it is okay. An instant red flag, if you are having a hard time deciding if this is healthy for you or not, is do you know the ingredient? Does it have less than 5 ingredients? Is it in a package? And those are very good questions for you to ask when deciding if something is healthy or not. So if you can follow this, if you can eat only natural foods, some of the foods I listed, and implement this way of thinking, if it existed 100 years ago, is it natural? Did it come from the earth? Then you will start to notice amazing changes you will have more energy, your acne will clear up, you'll have less inflammation, you'll have less redness, which means you can be more attractive, to women. You'll have more energy, which means you can take your workouts harder, and you'll also be able to put on muscle easier because your body is not fighting off low quality food constantly. You'll have better sleep, which means you'll have more energy throughout the day. Your cognition will be better. Like, your whole entire life will improve once you implement this. So yes, that's why I am here, to help you with this, help you figure out what foods are as healthy as possible, what should be avoided. I've laid out the perfect human diet in my school program. Link is in the description. There I cover everything about health, the perfect diet, things to avoid, things in your environment to avoid, how to have the perfect mindset when you want to be healthy, how to lose weight, other healthy lifestyle add-ons that you can implement. Basically just how to have perfect health and how to feel amazing, look amazing. But if you want to keep watching right now, then you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and you can go watch all of those videos. I have so much knowledge on my YouTube channel, so go check that out. Thank you for watching. Stay away from this ultra processed slop and your life will become so much better. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.